Welcome to episode 3 of the off-season, season 2. Today we're in St Finbarrs GAA club in Cork. We're going to be chatting to Steven Sherlock, Cork sharpshooter. Stephen.
Shane, how are things?
How are we?
All
good to meet you.
Good yourself?
Great to be here. Episode 3, season 2. The facilities here are immense. You can probably see from the drone footage the size of it. We'll do a lot of talking on the club. Brilliant. Really excited to have a chat here. Okay,
yeah,
we'll dive straight in. We're all good. Right, Stephen, you're only a gassing. You're only what, 25, 26?
26, yeah.
Okay, so start of every episode, we start with your minor years, and all the other guests on season 1, season 2 were all in their 30s, late 20s, and you only have, let's say, 6, 7, 8 years ago you're playing minor football. You've always played for St Finbarrs, is that right?
Yeah, always played for St Finbarrs, yeah.
Right, okay, and in my experience, St Finbarrs have always been a top team in Cork. Were they always a top team at the under 14 level and so on?
Yeah, like as in
Division 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we kind of be always up towards the top, and to be fair, at the moment, luckily we're probably blessed with 2 very good senior teams. Senior Hurling won the county last year, and we got to the final unfortunately last. So to be fair, we're competing very high,
Right,
and look, like there's so much numbers out the club, like so it helps really that like the fact that there's so many volunteers, and even as you see the facilities and everything like that, it's top notch.
And were you at that young age, 13, 14? I'm sure there was kids absolutely scattered everywhere around here. Was there in the pitches?
Oh yeah, there is. And to be fair, it's even getting stronger throughout the years. Like there's fierce development for houses and everything all around kind of Togher and Balfian suburbs. So we're really kind of seeing the rewards for that. Like we'd have street leagues out here every Friday and Saturday morning, and the pitches would be absolutely jointed with people, and all kids playing and everything like that, and it's great to see. Like.
Right, so street leagues. So we'll talk you there. Was there street leagues when you were younger?
Yeah, there was. Obviously throughout the years, like it's even
How does that
progressed.
work?
So basically, it's kind of just we'd call it kind of the street leagues, as they'd be kind of under 6s, under 7s, under 8s, under 9s,
Little
all that
blitzes.
kids, and they'd all have blitzes and they'd all have training.
Right.
Say for example, Fridays could be football. Saturdays could be hurling because we're the dual, like so they kind of want to keep as much kids involved playing both as possible.
Right.
So it's fantastic, to be fair. Like you see, even all the senior lads go out and they help out and everything like that. And it's unreal.
It's a real community. I can sense that already. Just even at the pulling up in the car, the coffee shop. I know you have a bar in there as well. We talked off camera how after games you should get together on Sunday morning, just probably grab a coffee after training and stuff. So it's obvious that the Finbarrs have done so much work underage level right up to make it such a successful club. So when you were under 14s, are you winning championships at that level, under 16s, minors?
No, well, under 14, kind of 15. We actually got to the Féile final in under 14.
Where was that in?
It was held in Cork at the time.
Okay.
And Jesus, it's such like Féile, you kind of like you kind of don't think, like when you look back on it, like it was so good, like do you know what I mean? We had the weekend down here. We actually played all our games down here.
Right. Okay.
And then we went out to Nemo and played a semi-final against Ballydonahue. And
is that a Cork team?
No, it's Kerry team.
Okay.
And I actually remember, like, even Jason Foley, for Kerry was playing at the time. Like, there's players now, and even for Ballymun there was a few lads as well that are playing with Dublin, I think, as well. So, like, it's under 14 level, and you see the progress of all these lads kind of continuing on, like, and it's class to see. And like that was probably one of the best weekends ever. Yeah. And we were so young, we didn't even know what was ahead of us, and to kind of compete with all against other teams around Ireland, it was really special. It's something I'll never forget, like, and it's a Féile, and like even to see it even keep going and everything, it's brilliant.
Right, okay, and you played a Féile 1 year, was it?
Yeah, we played Féile 1 and we lost to Ballymun Kickums in the final, down Park Equive.
Right.
No, they were something special at the time. I think
probably a lot of those players. Is there anybody there that obviously James Mack and all them boys are are older than you?
They were older. I'm not 100% sure.
Probably small, might have been in around.
He could have been, yeah. I think their captain was the lad James Talbot, who plays in goal for Bohemians.
Okay.
I think I remember that very vaguely. And by God, he was some footballer as well. And I think he was their captain.
Right.
So
okay.
like even there's a lad playing in Bohemians soccer who's played against us in Fela and everything.
That's crazy.
So it was mad. And then kind of we were kind of a team at the time that we weren't the biggest in height.
Yeah.
But to be fair, our managers always kind of used to focus on like basics and stuff, the kick passing, the hand passing, and all that type of stuff. But we were kind of, I felt like at the time, we weren't as so strong as other teams.
Yeah.
That we were kind of being brushed aside because at the time when you're under 14, you're kind of all about height and kind of strength. And
right. Okay.
You can really kind of burst through a guy and everything. But like as we kind of started to grow older, the kind of football started reaping the rewards and everything, and we started winning games by playing football and while getting stronger too as well. So. And
is that something your managers at that level would have focused on rather than just having the tallest, the biggest, the strongest players that worked on the basics, the fundamentals of the game?
100%. Like I remember back in the day, our lads would line up 3 cones and we'd run out, hand pass the first 2 and then kick past the last one. And geez, it was so boring.
So simple, yeah.
So simple, but so boring as well. And like we ended up reaping the rewards of it, as I said. Like it was just so simple that the basics were so good.
Yeah.
And it kind of really carried into kind of under 15, 16, 17, and then we actually ended up winning the minor championship then.
Right. So you won the minor championship. That year was you're only 26
2015.
now. 2015. You won the minor championship. Was that how many years did you play minor football?
So I played minor for 3 years, and we actually got to a county final both them 3 years. Lost the first 2, and then third time lucky we beat Douglas in the final.
Right. Okay.
So it was kind of I never won a county
until
minor. So that was kind of a really special one, to be honest. I was kind of very young at the time as well.
Right.
So,
okay.
And to have a county medal was extra special, really, like because all the lads before us kind of. They had their 1-1 because we actually won a few beforehand, but I wasn't actually involved, and I really wanted one. So, geez, that was special, alright, to be fair. And
was it Douglas in the final all 3 years? Who else was there?
No, we played Douglas in the final in the first year, Carrigaline in the second year, and then Douglas again.
Right. Okay.
Just
thinking, has that Douglas team went on to win a senior championship since?
No, they haven't. No, I think they won a 21 championship, but that team at the time was stacked. I think they beat us 14-3 or something on the night. So they were really good.
Right, you'd have to wonder how yous could go on and win a championship and bleed the young guys through, whereas Douglas maybe haven't made that step up. But look, we're not here to talk about Douglas, okay? But it's quite interesting that yous losing them 2 minor finals. Is there many of those players that have stepped into senior?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Geez, there's actually an awful lot of lads. I think from the minor age that we won, I'd say you'd probably have about 5 or 6.
Right, okay.
So that are predominantly senior as well, like, you know, so it was definitely, like, you could definitely see the benefits of winning underage, kind of progressing through the ranks. And I think, like, even as, like, a community and, like, winning and everything like that, it becomes, like, an obsession.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Everybody's so happy when you win a county, that lads stick with it and everything. Sometimes there you can lose 1 or 2 lads, but, like, I feel like we were very, very well trained growing up and kind of always kind of told to do the right thing, and we were like, the managers were brilliant and they kind of kept us going all the time.
Yeah.
And like it's coming out here all the time, like you're coming out with your best friends, like, so like we always kind of carried that into the senior setup then as well.
Right, okay. And did you play with the senior team when you were minor at all?
2015 I actually made my debut, yeah. I think we played Ahada down in Carricktool.
So league or championship?
Championship.
Okay.
And then I came on towards the end, still a bit of a baby, like, but when I was looking back on it, and then I played a game against Castlehaven. That was the quarter-final, I think, or quarter-final of last 16.
Okay.
Down below as well, I came on as a sub in Clonakilty, and that was kind of that year then as well. And then
that was all within 2015?
That was all within 2015, yeah. And then I kind of started to play then senior rank 7th to Bars then in 2016.
Right, okay. Starting. And were you always an inside forward at minor level?
Oh yeah, I've really been an inside forward my whole life.
Does that mean you're lazy?
Could do, yeah, but we'll cut that out for the managers there. But maybe lazy, yeah, but it was just the way I grew up. I actually remember when, I remember when we were playing in the small goals, I think it was under 13. I used to be a half forward and kind of growing 11, 12 and 13. And then I think when the big goals came in, they were like, oh God, we can't have this fella doing the donkey work now. He used to go inside. So I kind of stayed in there and I haven't come out yet, really.
Perfect. Well, there's a reason why you've been stayed in there, and we'll get into your scoring probably a little bit further on in the episode, especially when we get to the shooting. But your scoring charts are something that I've looked up in the last day or two, and at senior level, they're fantastic. When did was it just from under 12s, under 14s? Is there anything that you can put your finger on that give you the confidence to shoot with right, with left? You're pretty both-footed. You can shoot from range. You're not afraid to shoot from tight angles. Is there anything that really helped you get to that position underage? Any coaches maybe that helped you? Or?
I think it was just kind of being comfortable with my feet. Like I used to play an awful lot of soccer as well when I was younger, so I was always kind of comfortable with the ball. I was the type of guy that like I'd never stay inside and play an Xbox or a PlayStation. I'd always want them because I was kind of like, I want what you want.
Yeah.
But then I'd get it and I'd be like, oh God, I want to go out my back, I want to go out my green, I want to go out and play football and stuff like that. So I was always kind of confident with my feet, and I suppose as I got older I just started getting even more confident. I just started kind of, you know, taking, as you said, like taking shots from long distance, trying to practice them as much as I can. But as I said, like being comfortable with the feet from the soccer side of things really helped. And even I used to play as a striker for my own age, but I actually used to play in goal for the older age then.
Right.
So my mother and father, in
Okay.
soccer. My mother and father were demented, kind of bringing me to all these games.
Yeah.
But I even got kicking off the floor from playing a goal in soccer. So
yes.
So it all translated and kind of came together, and like, you know, as I got older, then I just obviously started taking kicking a bit more serious, working on technique and all that type of stuff.
So it's such a reoccurring thing that all the players I've spoke to is that a lot of them have played soccer or played multiple sports growing up, and I think that's really important for young kids. Like I have a wee girl at home now, hopefully as she gets older, she'll be put into as much sports as possible, whether she likes it or not, she's going into them.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important that that young kids play multiple sports and the parents are okay with taking them here, there and everywhere. So that's really interesting. So you got a lot of your long range shooting off the floor from soccer. Bring you back to your senior days now. You played your first senior year in 2016, 2017?
Yeah, 2016. So we played 3 games that year. We played Beara in championship, we played Carberry division in championship, and then we lost to Nemo then in the quarter-final.
Okay.
But that was kind of a year that was kind of my first year starting, kind of first year taking frees, so like it was proper my kind of...
Did you go into the free taking for your senior level right out of minor?
Basically, yeah. So I finished minor in 2015, came straight in to take frees and stuff like that in 2016. So look, there was a bit of pressure on me as well at the moment, but like
Who did you take the frees off?
I can't remember at the time actually. Who did I take the frees off? I could have taken off Robbie
Michael Shields, was it?
Michael Shields on a free. He's the lad that's giving them away. He'll kill me now for saying that.
Yeah. Rather you than me.
I think maybe Robbie Manny or Riley at the time.
Right, very good.
I took over the management of fairly good free takers, to be fair. And like even when I was talking about when I was younger about senior players coming out, like I remember I used to go out kicking with like the likes of Fernand Murray and Riley and even Robbie O'Mahony as well, and they taught me an awful lot as well. Like so, like hopefully I planned even to do that as well, because I'd love to give back to what they gave to me, you know.
Yeah. And big year 2018, Cork champions.
Jeez, yeah.
Seems like a lifetime ago now, I'm sure.
It does. It actually really does. 2018, we lost in 17, and
was it the final you lost in 17?
We lost the final in 17 to Nemo after the replay, and like that was kind of the first time as a group. We were a very young group at the time, kind of getting to a county final, so it was kind of special. And like none of us had ever seen kind of flags around the town, the buzz, the kind of leading up to training sessions. The bank would be always full of fellas watching training sessions, everything, and there was such a buzz. And we ended up losing, and to be fair, it was a bit of a come down. I remember like I was kind of like setting an album up on my phone of like county final when we lost, and then kind of like, geez, this is motivation to get back there next year. And we actually ended up getting back there, and to be fair, We had a great year that year. We won it, and like it's always it was extra special because it was 33 years we didn't win. The senior football county.
Wow, okay.
So 33 years was a long time for this club.
And your biggest rivals probably had a couple of titles.
Exactly. So we kind of knew it was coming, but you still have to go out and win it.
Yeah.
And look, it was kind of a really big monkey off the back to kind of go out and win a county championship. Kind of takes the pressure off for your career. You know, you have one and everything like that. It's just about kicking on now and everything like so. That monkey off the back was needed, but it was so enjoyable.
Now 2019, you didn't win it again.
No, we didn't.
Did Nemo win that one?
Did, yeah.
Right, that's interesting that when you lose a title, it's very hard to keep that going or win the next one, especially when you have such a good rival club that are just as successful as yourselves. And they were back and won it 2019. Now, who won?
They won it 2020 as well.
Right.
And then we won it in 2021. So, like, there's fierce rivalry between the teams, but the teams really respect each other as well because.
Would you have friends in that club?
Oh, 100%. Like all the lads that are playing with Cork and everything, they're great buddies of mine and everything like that. We've great crack when we're away trips and everything, and even when we're training, like we're all very good close friends. Like, but as I said, there's fierce respect between the clubs throughout the years. Even when I wasn't playing, there was fierce games and everything like that. So, look, hopefully we'll get to meet each other again this year. But we'll take every game now as it comes as a start. But they actually won it last year as well. So hopefully we can get back to winning this year. Yeah.
So 2021 now, that was a big year. You won Munster.
Yeah, geez, that was.
So you probably took the hurt from losing. Sorry, in 2020 did they beat you in the final?
No, we actually lost to Castlehaven on penalties. So that was the first time penalties was kind of in. So
right, in the semi-final was it?
Yeah, and it was kind of like Newfoundland. Did
you take one?
I did, I missed. I wouldn't be the best penalty taker now.
Right, okay.
After all my soccer talk, I wouldn't be the best penalty taker.
Right, okay.
But it was...
But you'd be the penalty taker for the club?
I would, yeah. But I wouldn't be that good.
You'd rather take a free?
I just have to practice the Bruno Fernandes because he hasn't lost it
yet.
But it's... we lost on penalties on a shocking night down below, and funnily enough, we actually played them again the week after the year after the semi-final, and that went to penalties then as well.
And you scored. I seen that you scored that one.
And I slipped.
And you did slip.
I actually slipped. Yeah.
Your goalkeeper won it.
He did. John Kearns won it.
He saved it, and then say he had a few pints that night.
Oh yeah, we had one or two. Alright, to be fair. And like it was COVID times at the time and everything. So,
right, okay.
So that time was kind of extra special because it was COVID times. It was kind of everything was kind of bleak and dreary and everything like that. Like, do you know what I mean? So it gave the club a real boost.
Yeah. Such togetherness. I remember I was playing with my own club in Monaghan, and we won the championship in 2020 during COVID. And that year of training, we always think it was the best year. For whatever reason, it's just that you didn't do anything else but you were training with your mates. So you won it. So the 2021, you went and won Munster. How did that campaign go with Munster? You beat Stacks, did you?
We beat Stacks in the final, yeah. It was. I actually think about this every now and again. I never played in a Munster Championship bar that year, and I remember kind of leading up to it. I was just like, "Geez, am I really here?" And I kind of, are we really in this position? Because we wanted for so long to win a county.
Yeah.
And to be fair, when we actually had the gap of the other 2 years in between, we kind of wanted to win a county again because we knew we were a good team. We had to win another one. So when we won that then as well, it was kind of a bit of relief, and it was kind of, there was a bit of a come down after for me personally, and then trying to pick yourself up during Christmas time and everything like that for Munster Championship. I was like, geez, are we really here? And then we won the Munster. Like, we put in an unbelievable performance up in Thurles that day, and went on to the Kilcoo game, and I actually felt the same in the Kilcoo game. Like, looking back, I'm just like, Jesus, I can't believe we were here.
Yeah.
I kind of have a small few regrets about it because I felt like I didn't kind of put my whole 100% into it in a weird way because I didn't actually believe that we were there.
Right, okay.
So that's something like I'd love to rectify.
Yeah, I'm sure that's quite normal with a team as a player that gets to those heights. But I'm sure that down the line, if you do get back there, you'll have so much experience banked.
Exactly. I didn't have the experience of it at the time, and maybe it was kind of just bonus territory.
Yeah.
But I don't want I kind of, like, if I was looking back now, it shouldn't have been bonus territory. It should have been an opportunity where you just kind of grab, like, do you know what I mean? And like, it was a weird feeling, but it was kind of it was a good feeling in some sense because we were there.
Yeah. Now, just on that Castlehaven game, we beat them in penalties in 2021. That was one of the. I watched the full game on YouTube. It was a hell of a cracking game.
Yeah, it was.
There was goal central. There was no defence. As an Ulster man looking in, I was asking where the fuck's the defensive structure here. Yeah, it was just goals.
Like it was actually very weird because it was a club game, and I remember it wasn't streamed on RT or anything like that. Yeah. And I went onto my Twitter afterwards, as I just go onto Twitter as I would on the phone, and I was just looking at all these tweets and I was just like, oh my god, what a game! And I was like, what game are they talking about? And they're all talking about our game, like, and it was just a club game, and like there's loads of people even talk about it still to this day. Yeah. It was just end to end.
Yeah, it was yourself, they had Michael Hurley, Brian Hurley.
Yeah, oh geez, like
you hit 2 goals very quick.
Yeah, Brian got 2. I think Brian got 2-9, and I think I got 2-10. It was just an unbelievable shootout, like, and to finish on penalties as well was so dramatic. Like, it's a game like I even watch at home myself there. So it's like, oh, some buzz, like. Brilliant.
Well, it's good when you come out at the right side of it.
Oh yeah, geez, we were at the wrong side of it the year before, and geez, it's not nice to look at.
So 2022 was it last year? How did you get on? Who won that one?
Nemo
won that one, and right now you're 2 games in and you're 2 from 2 at the minute.
2 from 2, yeah. So we've had 2 good results.
Just really staying focused now.
Just really about staying focused, and try hopefully get the win against Douglas now the next day. To put us through, but. No, we're in a good enough position now at the moment, yeah.
This episode is kindly sponsored by Whoop. What if I told you that you could use Whoop as your own personal wearable health and fitness coach for GAA? Whoop isn't just another fitness tracker. It is constantly measuring my resting heart rate, HRV, activity levels and sleep performance. I use Whoop daily to allow me to track key metrics so I can train hard as well as coach teams in GAA to the best of my ability. What I have learned by using Whoop is that when I reach my sleep goal each night, I am primed for high strain the following day through exercise and coaching. GAA players can benefit from Whoop by understanding when to push themselves to their max based off their recovery score that morning. If you are interested in improving your health and overall performance, you can go to join.whoop.com/Shane Rice to get started this off-season. Okay, so that's your little snippet career with the Finbarrs, okay? Cork. I want to chat a wee bit about Cork. So your minor career, was it short-lived or was it successful?
I was a Cork minor in 2015.
Just 1 year, was it?
1 year, yeah. So I couldn't actually break onto the panel in 2014. Just probably wasn't good enough at the time, really. So I kind of broke on alright in the 2015 year. And geez, we really had a good team. Looking back now, it was kind of when that kind of got away from us. And we actually ended up losing to Kerry in the Munster semi-final.
Okay.
Kerry had a stacked team now as well at the time. They had the likes of Sean O'Shea, Jason Foley as well, as I mentioned. Like, so they were very, very good at the time. They beat us after extra time down below in Austin Stack Park. So that was a very disappointing one because I actually thought, like, even as a young fella, you were so zoned in on trying to get to Croke Park.
Yeah.
And even to play in a Munster final beforehand and everything. Remember that was the days.
Right.
And that didn't happen. It was kind of, geez, that was very disappointing. But
and it's always been you and Kerry, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Like,
to be fair.
Without being disrespectful to other counties in Munster, it's in the under-21s, the minors, it's always been you or Kerry.
Yeah, it is. And there's a big rivalry there. To be fair to Kerry, they kind of pushed on an awful lot, and we kind of maybe haven't really pushed on as much as kind of Cork had wanted to in the last few years, like, and they've kind of gone a step ahead of Cork at the moment, but even hopefully in the senior ranks now in the 21 and stuff like that, we're kind of closing the gaps slowly but surely. So hopefully in the next few years now, like, we can maybe pip them down.
Yeah. Well, look at is the rivalry as big as people say it is? Do you have a hatred, not to the players, but just to Kerry as a whole, as a Cork man? Or talk me through the rivalry. I wouldn't understand it from being.
I wouldn't say it's proper hatred. I just think that there probably is a rivalry there between Cork and Kerry. You know,
is it respectful?
It is probably respectful.
Okay.
No, to be honest, I actually haven't really played Kerry myself as much as other players probably would have. They might have a different answer to lads back in the day that were playing Kerry in All-Ireland finals, Munster finals every year, stuff like that. But it's kind of changed for us last year. Like, remember, like, I was listening to a podcast there, but with James O'Donoghue as well at the time, like, you know, he was kind of saying that, like, he missed the Cork and Kerry days down below in Clarny.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully we can try to get that back as well, because that's all part of kind of as you said, like, the rivalry and even the buzz about it as well. You know, Cork and Kerry down Clarny or Cork and Kerry down the park. You know, it's like, it's a huge fixture, like, you know. But from the rivalry point of view, like, yeah, obviously there's a bit of rivalry, but there's good respect between the teams as well.
You mentioned James there. He gave you a bit of a mention. He expected you to do really well. Did you listen to the podcast?
I saw the snippet on Twitter already.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he thinks of us at the moment. No, like,
He's a good lad.
No, I actually really enjoyed that podcast too, to be honest.
Yeah, I like it. The football pod, is that it?
Yeah,
I do like it. Yeah. I went to see them a couple of times live. It was actually in Killarney for them, and also in the Crokes, see them live. I chat to Tommy in that. But yeah, James was saying one to watch Cork. But when he said that, and some other people said Cork one to watch at the start of this season, people probably thought you're crazy, because the history, obviously, the last couple of years, we wouldn't have thought that Cork would ever reach an All-Ireland quarter-final. Quarter-final, this year.
Quarter-final,
Yeah. So what do you think? I know I'm skipping ahead of myself. I will get back into the minors, under 21s, but what do you think has changed over the last 12 or 18 months? Your mentality to believe that you can get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, or even win it? I think
it's down to a lot of things. I think like we got the lads that won the 21 All-Ireland in 2019. That group of players, they've really kicked on, and like there's an awful lot of them kind of in the panel.
Yes.
And I think that they're probably one of the prime example of a team that win when they're younger and make the step up to senior. And I think they've really helped us in the last few years to kind of
that winning mentality.
That winning mentality, they're bringing that in, and they're driving the older lads.
Yeah.
Whereas before, probably the younger lads were coming in maybe, and like there probably wasn't that much of a winning mentality there, because Cork football was probably on a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the lads kind of really brought that in since the minute that they came in.
Right.
And they're winners, number one, but they're very they're competitive too. Like they're competitors, and they're unreal in training. But then like when they came in, then they started to give a lot of fellas confidence then.
Brilliant.
So,
very good.
Like we kind of kicked on this year, and there was a load of them lads that were playing that under 21 team, like Colin O'Callaghan, Rory Maguire, Maurice Shanley, even Sean Mean, our captain, unfortunately went out injured and everything, but still though, there was like, they really kicked us on, I thought, and I think they're still doing it.
And you've an under 21 title Munster in 2018, is it?
No, it was
2016?
2016, yeah.
You under 21, under 16, the first year of the minor?
Yeah, so
sorry, just trying to get my head around that. So you, last year was 2015 in minor.
2015
and the following year you went straight into the under 21 panel?
Yeah.
So usually if you're going straight into minor to the under 21 panel, there must be a massive transition or physical development or something in your mentality that allowed you to get onto that panel, because you weren't making it to the same age group in minors.
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
I suppose like I had a good club campaign as well with the Bars minors that we won the county, so that kind of helped me as well.
Okay.
And as I kind of got developed, but I started to get more confidence in myself as well. To kind of compete with the better lads and everything like that. So
did you play that year under 21 Munster title?
I came on as a sub every game, and like looking back in the time, and even this year as well, like you kind of wanted to play and start every game and stuff like that. But like it was actually huge, my development at the time, and you won't even as you get older and mature, you kind of realise, Jesus, that was really important that I just even played them 10-15 minutes towards the end, kicked maybe one or two scores and stuff like that. But geez, that game down below in Kerry that day was fairly...
He's beat Kerry in the Munster final.
Beat Kerry down below in the Munster final. Like, that was a game that people were probably giving us absolutely no hope.
Chance, okay.
No hope at all. Kerry had, as I said, Jason Foley, they had...
Probably Shawnee in that one. Shawnee Shea in that, was it?
Was Shawnee
no, a bit younger, was he? Because he was just last year minor
I'd say
too.
he was last year minor, yeah. I don't think he was playing.
Right.
But geez, they had a stacked team.
Yeah.
And we actually ended up beating them. Mark O'Connor from the lad playing with
Aussie Rules,
Aussie Rules is playing as well. Like so.
Right.
It was a serious game.
Yeah.
And like we came out the right side of it, and that was a special one, to be fair.
And then you played under 21s then for 3 years, is it?
It actually went to 2 years because I went back to under 20.
Oh right, so you missed a year?
Unfortunately, yeah. Like myself now, maybe Sean Powder now, for example, we missed out in our last year of under 20, or under 21, because I went back to under 20 and under 17.
Right, so you missed it in 2018?
Missed in 2018, yeah.
And then they won the All-Ireland 2019 under 21s?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So look, there's obviously a group of you that came through winning the Munster, beating Kerry, and then there's a group coming from the under 21s. So you join up those two groups, and that plays a lot in your senior panel.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Like if you can get lads that are after winning previous years and kind of bringing in kind of a winning mentality, it definitely helps. Like it drives everybody on. And like I think they've really done that, to be fair to them. They've really took it to the next level, from under 20 to senior, and I think that's definitely something that, like, even kind of if you take a step back and have a look, like, you're just they're kind of admirable, to be fair, like, and like, it's not just them either. Obviously, we've a great management team in place. And it kind of all came together this year, right, to be fair.
Brilliant, very good. Okay, so out of under 21s, you were, what year are we at now? So COVID years and stuff, Cork, they're probably just waiting for those two groups to come together. There was no push. There's never won National League or anything.
The Division 3 only, but I actually wasn't involved at the time.
What year was that?
2020, I think.
Right, okay.
And
now, you were in the panel for one of those years, but you were dropped. Is that right?
So I came into the senior panel in 2018. Played 2018, played 2019, was dropped for 2020 and 21. Sorry, was dropped for 20 and 21, yeah. And then
for 2 years?
Yeah, for 2 years. And came back in 22 and this year in 23.
When you say drop, was that your own decision, or would the
No, it
manager
wasn't. I was just let go by management.
Okay.
So
did that annoy you, or did that drive you on, or maybe there's more to the story? Is there? I don't know.
Bit of both. Like, to be honest, I thought, like, at the time, I thought it was an absolute ridiculous decision, really.
Okay.
And like, I still do. But it actually always gave me motivation then to come back and just say, like, right, this fella can play at the inter-county stage. Like, so it definitely was motivation, but I definitely wouldn't agree with the decision, and I still won't. Did
you work on yourself a lot during those 2 years off the pitch, or even, in the gym, or your skills and stuff to get you?
I suppose I did, but I didn't go away from anything that I really wouldn't do normally. Like, I just kind of more so kind of backed myself, and kind of during the COVID years, they were kind of enjoyable. Some parts of it were enjoyable because you were training by yourself, and kind of there was no collective training, and you had nothing really to do, and kind of
wasn't a bad year to miss.
It wasn't a bad year to miss, but I got probably my fittest during 2021, and that was probably my best campaign with the Bars that year. And I but as I said, I didn't really work that. Not that I didn't really work that hard. I didn't really do something completely different. I just kind of backed myself more than anything, and just kept having the belief of, right, I'm going to be called back in eventually again. I'm going to show people that I can play inter-county, and thank God I actually came in back last year, and the lads gave me a chance, to be fair. No, that's because this year, obviously, would you say it was a tough year for you personally? You probably mightn't have started as many games as you would have liked. Yeah, it probably was, to be fair. Like, last year I was starting every game, and kind of go from starting every game to kind of being an impact sub.
Were you okay with that being an impact sub, do you think?
I
had to be.
I suppose it had to be, but, like, obviously, look, you want to be starting. But I do understand the way the GAA has gone at the moment as well, that there has to be good guys come off the bench and everything like that. So I did understand it, and it it did benefit us in a few games as well. So, but as I said, I started against Roscommon then, and I was probably one of my most nervous games I was ever going into, because we played Mayo the week before, and I got 1-5 coming off the bench, and then people were saying, oh, should we leave Sherlock on the bench, or should we start Sherlock? And I ended up starting, and it was I felt like there was massive pressure on me to perform.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
People were saying, like, oh, if he doesn't perform here, then definitely he's an impact sub. So, well, to be fair, I actually thought I'd played very well that game as well. So,
did you score much that day?
I think I got about 6 or 7.
Right, okay.
So,
because scoring for you is so important.
Yeah.
Not that you can't do anything outside from scoring, but that is your that's your main attribute,
Yeah.
So if you're not scoring, you personally feel that you're not playing well.
No, yeah, that'll probably be it, yeah, to be fair. And, like, I just think it's probably my biggest strength, that is scoring. So, like, I always kind of base my games around that.
Yeah.
Am I scoring enough? Am I getting into positions? Yeah. Am I winning the ball? And it all kind of correlate.
Yeah.
Kind of brings back into scoring, like, so. It definitely is probably number one, like, and that's not me. That's not to say, like, I have to score. But it's probably even just getting into the positions and kind of making myself available to score.
Yeah.
It's all part and parcel.
Yeah. Now, would you have any run-ins? I'm just thinking of all the top forwards. They're nearly allowed to take maybe the 50-50 shot. Would you count yourself as maybe that little bit of selfishness? or just really confident in your scoring ability that you're able to shoot from these crazy angles because obviously you're great at them, but would there be other players getting on your back or anything? It's quite interesting to hear from.
Yeah, like, I suppose you would, because like, say for example, if you're in, it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of weird to trace, because if you might put one over in the same angle 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
And then if you kick it from that side again and it goes wide, it's kind of like, oh, for God's sake. Like,
Has a manager ever tried to get that out of you?
No, to be honest, no, because they know it's probably my main attribute. But,
right.
Like, no manager is probably going to tell his players stop shooting, but like, if I'm shooting from the corner flag 5 times in a row, they're probably going to give out to me.
Right, okay.
So, but
because a lot of your shots, as well as the likes of Don McCurry, Clifford, all those lads, their scoring zone is totally different from the usual forward scoring zone.
Yeah.
You never really have that from managers or coaches.
We actually played a game last week, and I was kind of coming down the left hand side, and I tried to cut in on my right, and I actually done everything right, bar the shot at the end, and I know the manager was saying scoring zone, and I kind of was like, I was like, that's my scoring zone.
Yeah. Fuck the scoring zone.
If he went over, he wouldn't even got off the bench. Like. So
I'd say
that to him now as well, like that. I actually meant to say it to him. But like it's a small. They're small margins, like, because if they go over, like, it's like, oh, that's Sherlock. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's grand. But if they don't go over, then it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's I suppose it's very hard to find a balance, because you want to be taking every opportunity that you can get, and some days there you can click and you can get nearly 10 out of 10, and other days you can get 2 out of 10. But how do you find the balance, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I'd always be the type of fella that if I miss 5 frees in a row, for example, or if I miss 5 shots in play, I'll take the 6th.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's you might be having a bad day, fair enough, like, but like, you still have.
You have a very strong head in you. If you miss 4 or 5 shots, you'll still try that shot again.
Oh, 100%, yeah. That's like, and I've always had that attitude about myself as well. Like, I'll still take the 6th, like, and like, that it's just confidence. Like, I have big confidence in my kicking, and like, I work hard in it.
And would you grab a bag of footballs now regular throughout the week?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You have a bag of footballs at home?
I don't. I actually get them off the lads up above like that, and I get them from Cork as well. So I take them after training there and stuff like that, because I'd be coming up here anyway, and I'd be going training as well. So I'd always kind of take them away after training, and then maybe go in the evenings there just after work, maybe.
Very good. Okay, Stephen, moving on to our first segment of the video. Okay, our 16 quick fire questions, and the reason being 16 comes from the typical off season for a club player is about 16 weeks. All right, so these are going to come at you nice and quick. Your favourite singer, band, musician, your favourite music genre?
Joel Corry.
Oh, you're techno, are you?
No, I just like a few of his songs.
Would there be?
I'll be killed for saying that.
Joel Corry? Yeah. He was in Geordie Shore.
Yeah.
Do you like him from then?
Yeah, I like Head and Heart. No, like that's one of my favourite songs I get.
Right, okay. And would you be a music person before games?
No, not really. I actually just try to kind of. I wouldn't be kind of banging my head against the wall, or I just try chilled out, just to try to have a crack and stuff like that. Right,
will you play music in the dressing room and stuff? And
yeah, like the lads will play it and everything like that. You just kind of get around, get your bits done.
Dead on, okay. Your death row meal, your last meal?
Pizza.
Right, okay.
So a bit of garlic dip as well.
Right, okay. Anywhere in particular?
Oh, Luciano's Glanmire.
Close from here?
It's about 20 minutes.
Would you go pick it up or get it delivered to the house?
I go pick it up.
Pick it up?
Yeah.
So that actually ties in the next one. So your favourite takeaway order, is that your go-to takeaway, is it?
Yeah, it probably is, yeah.
What's your toppings?
Either that or a chicken baguette from Donatello's.
Right, yeah. Okay. What's your toppings on pizza?
Ham, pepperoni. I'm very plain. I wouldn't go...
Barbecue base, no?
No, just normal.
Garlic dip?
Garlic dip, yeah. Has to be garlic dip.
And if you forgot the garlic dip, you'd be raging.
Yeah, I'd probably be disappointed.
Yeah. Done that before and there's nothing worse. So, favourite holiday destination?
Albufeira.
Yeah?
Yeah, love Portugal.
Never been. Bit of a party spot, is it?
Love Portugal. It's a bit of party spot and it's a bit of boat as well. I was actually only there recently with my girlfriend too, like, so it was a lovely spot. And I was there before as well, like, when we were younger, so no, I really like it. It's 2.5 hours just kind of over the water, like, so it's I really like it there, right, to be fair.
Brilliant, okay. Your favourite pair of boots? So you're wearing
these boots.
Preds?
No, they're Adidas X's. Right. I think I paid about €330 for them.
Why?
Like, because I just loved them.
Why are they so expensive?
Them, yeah.
Why are they so
I don't know. They're the colour of the club and everything like that. You know. And I remember I went online. I don't know where I bought them off again. But I just couldn't. I couldn't leave them go.
Right.
I couldn't leave them go. I was like, I don't know. No, people actually don't know that I probably paid that much for them now. So, but I had Adidas X's every day.
Next man, the mark, she's going to come in with the studs and rip them.
I love them. I'm always kind of more so Adidas. I always kind of have been, to be fair. And I really like the Adidas boots.
Right, now let's say just on them, if they ripped or whatever, are they hard to source, those exact ones?
Yeah, very hard to source. I think they came out in 2018 for the Soccer World Cup.
Gotcha.
So, geez, 5 years ago now, the boots fairly scarce now.
Okay, very good. So, your least favourite football ground and place where you hate to go, club or county?
Oh, Jesus. Try to think there now. Yeah, geez, that's a tough one now.
If someone said to you Friday night, piss and rain, we're going to here for a match, you'd be fucking raging.
I'd actually probably say maybe probably down West Cork, because
it's just a journey.
Yeah, and like we're so used to playing in the city and stuff like that as well, so I'd say anywhere down West Cork. Yeah,
right.
Wouldn't be a big fan of it. Like,
what's the furthest club from here in Cork?
Probably Castletonbear, I'd say.
How far is that?
About 2 and a bit hours.
And that can happen. You can play them.
Like,
yeah, we can. No bother.
Yeah, 100%.
And what is the 2 furthest clubs in Cork? The furthest journey, do you know?
Geez, I'm not 100% sure now. Probably
because you're in the city. I'm sure there's other clubs further on.
I'm trying to think. Maybe East Cork Youghal to Castletown, or even North Cork to Castletown. Yeah. Geez, I wouldn't be 100% sure.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's such a big county.
Yeah. I used to think going from Scotstown to Killarney was bad. Monaghan was only 50 minutes.
Yeah, like even like for example, if you're going to Portlaoise, it's an hour and a half down the motorway, up the motorway, and like you could be in Cork and you could be travelling 2 hours. You know, it's such a weird. It's such a big county. Yeah. You know, so like
I'd say that plays a lot. That comes into effect a lot in, let's say, the championship. It's group stages, is it?
It's group stages.
You probably look at your groups and you're like, "Fuck, hope we don't have to go over here." Yeah. I'd say that's the important thing about it. So your morning routine, not of a game, but just in general, do you have a routine? Are you strict with it?
Not so much really. Just try. To be fair, myself and all my friends, we'd always go to a place called Cork Coffee Roasters there in Side Town, and we'd always go there before a game. Just meet up, have a crack and stuff like that, and just have my breakfast and trying to meet the lads for a coffee, and then ready for road then. Like, so it's a bit of crack, right?
Are you a big coffee man?
I'm a big coffee man, yeah.
Many cups a day?
Probably about 2 or 3, I'd say.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I try to keep it probably about 1 in the morning, 1 at about 11 o'clock, and maybe 1 at about lunchtime then maybe, or something like that, or even 3. Okay. So so I'm a big coffee man, alright.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll buy you one on the way.
Yeah. So the most memorable game that you've been involved in, club or county?
Probably most memorable game was probably the 2021 county final. Considering, you know, I actually kicked the winning score in it, so it's kind of like extra special for me.
Right. Is that from play?
Yeah, from play. So I think it was like the 63rd minute. So like something I always look back on and everything. Brilliant. Like that. It's kind of every boy's dream, like to kick a winning score in a county final, like, and it's just. Like,
was that outside the scoring zone or inside?
No, I was inside the scoring zone, right. And if I got it, they definitely wouldn't have given it out to me then either. But no, that was probably the most memorable one because just the significance of kicking a winning score.
Yeah. Most embarrassing moment in GAA, anything stands out to you?
Most embarrassing moment probably, just not 100% sure, probably maybe missing a penalty there against Castlehaven. Kind of just, even at the fact, I think it was the first penalty too. First penalty in the first penalty shootout in Cork. Yeah. So
you didn't take the first penalty in the next penalty
No, I
shootout?
didn't. I took the fourth.
Was that your decision?
I can't remember at the time, to be honest. I think it was because I think we kind of learned from the previous year that I was going to go towards the end, rather than first. And the lad stepped up, to be fair, and they slaughtered them. Like, so they kind of took the pressure off me a small bit, but I kind of put us on the back foot straight away with the first penalty. So kind of. It's like, it's not a nice place to be in when walking back there. You're kind of embarrassed as well, to be fair.
Okay. Now, you did talk about pre-game ritual. Obviously, you meet up the lads, have a coffee, but is there anything in the dressing room that you're superstitious about that you always do? Or
always kind of put on my right boot first.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I always put on my right sock first.
Yeah.
Always put on my right boot first. Because I don't even know when it started. It only started recently. And I just, like, even when I wake up in the morning, I put on my right shoe. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Like, but it's just.
Is that just habit, or?
It's just habit, but it's kind of.
You'd be annoyed if you put the left one on. It just wouldn't happen.
It just wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Right,
I never ever do it.
Right,
always just put on the right foot first.
Right.
And it kind of came from the dressing room to putting on my shoes at home, to putting on my sliders after coming out of the swimming pool and everything. So.
Now, speaking of socks, how come they're not the long socks?
I know. I actually feel a bit naked at the moment.
Talk me through the process with the long socks.
So, 2016, I was saying we played our first game against Beara. I came down and I had long socks. At the time there wasn't really these kind of socks weren't brought out yet, and the long socks were there. And I had a bit of tape in my bag, and I said, "You know what? No, I'll just put up the long socks." And I put them up anyway, and it was my first senior start, and I think I scored like 11 points that day, and I goes, "Well, they're not coming down anymore."
And you tape them?
Yeah, I tape them most of the time, yeah. So they're up now. I've actually tried to get them done before, because I'd be looking at myself on the pitch and I'm like, what do you look like? You look like, what are you wearing your socks up for? Like, would you ever wear them down like everybody else? Like, but then I'd have a stinker then, so I can't put them back down. So,
right, okay. Do you have much slagging with the lads?
I've got a bit of grief for it, to be fair. It was when I used to wear the long blue ones and blue and yellow ones, and the long Cork ones that were just completely red. Fellas used to be like, "Oh, just look at this fella, he's wearing stockings there. He's like elf for Christmas or something."
Oh my God.
But I started to wear the hoopy ones now, so they look they don't look too bad. But no, it's more so superstition than anything.
Right. Okay. There's no better connection with the ball or anything. There's no feeling.
In my head, there probably is.
Right. Okay. Whatever works. That's fine. All good. Do you track your performance? I see you have an Apple Watch there. You don't have a week or anything?
I'd be totally honest. That was broken for the last 2 weeks. But
really? You don't use anything for general health? Or?
I kind of got into it a small bit, alright, to be fair. Like my fitness pal and stuff, like, so. Trying to start to use it now, especially for the off season, because when you're not playing, as you said, like, you know.
Is that your decision, or an S&C coach maybe told you?
S&C, I'd say. Yeah. Well, it has to be a bit my decision too, obviously, but I'm definitely going to try to start do it especially for the winter now and stuff like that as well, like when there's no games, and, you know, like, to be fair, like, when there's probably an extra few nights out here and there than normally is, like, you know, you probably just don't want to lose track of yourself, like.
And are you someone that is, because you're mid-20s, everyone I've talked to is that, like I said, has been maybe finished their career, but are you someone that's in the middle of your career right now that thinks they need to get bigger?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I need. You'll never feel like that you're as fit as you can be. You'll never feel you're as strong as you can be. So, like, there's always room for improvement.
So you're trying to gain size, are you?
Yeah,
really?
Trying to gain size
every year.
Every year, yeah. Trying to gain size every year. Trying to get body fats down every year. You know, and just trying to be a better athlete overall, like, you know. So definitely something I know I need to work on it. You know, like, as in. I know I need to get bigger and stronger to compete with the best as well, like, you know. So that's something definitely I have to put into perspectives and everything like that as well. So,
and do you use GPS with the club and the county?
Yeah.
Okay, and were you someone that likes to look at that data, or maybe you don't really like to dive into too much? Can you understand it?
100%, yeah, 100%. I can understand it. Like, it is very important to know and everything like that. It's actually not to catch fellas out. It's just to make you play better, like, you know what I mean? So I think, like, at the start when GPSs always came in, like, people were just like, oh God, they're going to track how much I'm running and stuff like that. Like, but it's to help you play better, and, you know, like, it is very important.
Absolutely. Do you prefer a daytime or a nighttime game?
Daytime game.
Daytime.
Yeah.
Okay. Nearly there. So you're inside 14 or 15. You play inside a lot, and it's the last minute, and you want a perfect ball into the chest to get the win score. Who's kicking that ball?
Oh, McGreevy all day long. He kicked it to me in the county final. I can never ever go against him now again after that.
Yeah.
The county final win score.
The ball bounce?
No, straight into the chest.
No mark?
No, I couldn't. What, could I have actually marked it? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. That's actually a good question. I'll actually have a look at that. But
if you had missed that and you didn't mark it, you'd be fucking
stop,
gutted.
yeah. I'd say it was probably just the adrenaline at the time because he got the ball around the middle of the field and I was kind of making the run out the right side.
Was it Parky Queeve, was it?
Parky Queeve, yeah. And like bounced it between two fellas and side foot pass straight into my chest while I was on the run. It was a scandalous
pass. So it was
2022?
Or no,
21 we won the county, yeah.
I must look that up. We'll get it. It's somewhere, I'm sure, and we'll put it overlay and we'll see could you have marked it, okay?
I actually need to know. I don't know.
Yeah. Who's your toughest marker?
There's a lot of lads with Cork, there's a lot of lads at the bars and everything like that. Samurai and
anybody else from another county that stands out? Just give you a roast?
Christy McKay. Yeah, I found him. To be fair, I found him hard at the in the derby game.
Why is he so good?
He just kind of concentrates solely on you as a player, and like he's very hard to get away from. So especially the way Derry play as well, they kind of bring a lot of fellas back. Yeah. So you're kind of competing against the blanket defence and competing against one of the best man markers in the country. Like so, he was definitely a guy that kind of I found hard to get away from. Kind of spoiled my game as well, you know. So he was definitely a tough man marker, yeah.
Okay, and then you mentioned a couple of club mates there in Cork.
So like I'm growing up there with lads, like, and our trainings are very competitive and stuff like that. So, like, geez, I'd back any of my club mates to come in and play with county as well, like, you know what I mean. So they're that good, like.
Yeah. Second last one. Who's your most influential person in your GAA career?
My parents, definitely, 100%. Like my father and my mother like are bringing me to all these games since I'm this height. Do you know, I remember there some years there back in the day I wanted to be a part of every team. So we'd play soccer in the morning, play GAA in the afternoon, then play another soccer match, and then we go for soccer trials or GAA trials and everything like that. And this was a Sunday evening. Yeah. And my father would be always giving out to me about it and everything like that. You were bringing me all out here, left, right and centre. So no, they've been very good to travel the country and everything like that. And then obviously you have your friends, your family, your girlfriend and everything like that. They're all equally very important.
Good stuff. And last minute, it's a penalty to save your life. Who are you backing to hit it?
Oh jeez. Who am I backing to hit it?
Now it doesn't have to be a club or county, it can be anybody.
No, I'll go Jamie Burns. He's a club mate of ours there like that, so he's a nice old power shot there like that. We call him the swoops there like that because he swoops the ball in there.
Right, okay. So, did he hit one of the penalties in against Castle?
No, he did not.
And you're going to back him to save your life?
I'm going to back him to save my life. We stick together.
Good stuff. Right, Stephen, we are at our second segment, or probably most fun challenge of the episode. We are in our shooting challenge. We're up to spend loads of time talking about shooting.
Okay, no pressure like.
No pressure. Sam Roy and John Heslin are both joined at the top. They've hit 10 out of 11. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 shots across the 13, 3 across the 21, 1 on top of the D, 2 at the corners and 1 from the 45. The only catch is the shot at the 45 can either be from the hands for 1 point or off the deck for 2, or out of the hands, weaker foot, outside of the boot for 2. Enda Smith is after making a fucking shit show of that, so we'll have to add that in every episode. So he hit it, okay? We're going to start here, and we will talk a little bit more in detail about your scoring halfway through, see how you get on. Also, Stephen, sorry, the middle 2 has to be your left foot.
Has to be my left foot?
Yeah, everything else is totally up to you. And I want you to take it as serious as you possibly can, do your routine, do whatever you like to do, and treat this as if you're taking a free for the bars, okay? All good. That's the one that a lot of people miss. We're going to stay in the 13, Stephen, right? So John missed that one, Sam missed that one.
I'm off to a good start, so.
Well, John and I think Sam went left foot. Maybe he didn't. I think Sam went outside the right.
Don't tell them now that the wind is helping me, yeah?
No, I'm telling you, it's not too much wind. That's left foot, okay? And I very nearly missed this. Good lad. Two from two.
I thought you might have the snow phone for me, no?
No, unfortunately not. That's the... Any sponsors out there want to do a sponsor for, what is it called?
Shaving foam is all about.
Lovely. Now, just a second, Stephen. See that technique that you went through?
Yeah.
You didn't do that technique on the other side.
I did I?
I don't think it did as much skipping, or maybe it just looked different.
Yeah, probably maybe because I'm coming in. Like with that, I kind of go towards the goal with my right leg.
Are you trying to by step?
It's not even trying by step. It's probably just the angle that I don't want to come out this side.
Okay.
Do you know, but I'd rather kind of go towards the goal.
Right.
Whereas
okay.
that side, if I kind of go towards, I feel like with my right leg, I kind of have to go straight at the line.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. But that was just subconsciously, really. That.
Yeah, it's just kind of just in my head, really, like that. Especially on that side, I kind of like to go straight because I'm curling like this.
Right.
Whereas this side, I'm kind of going in.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah. And just before we go on to 21, I want to talk you through some of your stats. I don't know if you looked at this with the Finbarrs. Okay, it's kind of crazy. Obviously, 2015, you hit 2 points. Okay, in the championship. 2016, you had 3 games, you hit 29 points. Okay, this is where it gets a bit crazy. 2017, in 7 games, you hit 248. Okay, now 2018, in 5 games, okay, in the club, you hit 337. All right, so 2020, in 5 games, you hit 336. Following year, 341. In 2021, when you won the Munster, you hit 364. Like, those stats, do you ever look back at them or realise how...
I suppose, like, you'd be lying if you said you didn't. Like, I'd obviously have a look every now and then, kind of just see where I'm at as well. Like, you know, obviously it's a benchmark that you're after setting yourself as well.
Yeah.
That you want to be like that every year.
Yeah.
Now, there's obviously going to be years that you're not going to be like that. I don't think I was like that last year, you know, so...
do you set yourself a target every game, how many points you're going to score?
No, I don't. I never set myself a target, to be honest. I just go out and try to score as much as I possibly can, really.
Okay.
And just, again, like, you know, I base my games mostly on how much I'm after scoring and everything like that.
Okay. So we'll keep this roll going then. I don't want to... You're on a roll here. 3 from 3. Easy, Stephen, good lad. So you're going to go into the middle one?
Middle again, left.
Left foot in the middle, okay. And all these frees here, would you take them from your hands?
Yeah.
All of them so far?
I'd be very, I'd be most confident out of my hands, to be fair.
Right.
Just because I kind of have the routine down to I kind of have my routine down to a T.
Gotcha.
But even with the out of my hand, off the floor, I wouldn't be as comfortable.
Gotcha. So left foot here. Good lad. It's 5 from 5. What are you thinking here, right or left?
Probably go to right again, I'd say, I don't know.
I am going to let you just come in. That's pretty wide, a lot wider than the other one, so.
I'll take every advantage.
Yeah, so we'll make it equal both sides. Spinning around there, that's tight there, yeah. Take your time. Wide.
Wide.
Oh.
Far post and all.
Oh, an inch to the right.
An inch to the right, yeah.
Fuck. It was wide, wasn't it?
No, it was wide, yeah.
It was wide. Thought you were going to get. Look at.
I thought
skip
I was
this one over the other two.
Over here, is it?
Yeah, you're looking equal, John and Sam. It's a tough challenge, isn't it?
Tough challenge, yeah, to be fair.
Especially when you know warm up or anything.
Next time I'm having it with my left.
Easy. That is 6 from 7. Did your heart go?
I got that one. Just about.
Okay, what is that? 7 from 8.
7 from 8, yeah. Nearly 6.5.
Goalkeeper might have caught that, would you?
I don't know, maybe Rory Begg might have caught it, Rory would have tell you.
Right, okay, Stephen, so this is our 9th shot, so hit this over, this will be 8 out of 9. Lovely. The wind has came at a good time.
It has.
Right, Stephen, so we have our last ball in the 45. I'm assuming you're going off the deck. It would be
45 off the deck.
Yeah, off the ground to make it 10 out of 11. To join John Heslin and Sam Murray at the top of the off-season leaderboard.
I suppose I'll have to have a shot.
No! Oh, Stephen! It all went so good at the start.
It's all good.
Your stuff 8.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 11 possible scores.
11.
Okay. Good stuff, all going well. See how you are on the speed, okay?
Probably worse now than like that, so you
Oh. Do you struggle with your daily protein intake? Well, ASAP, the plant-based company, has you covered. They are an Irish company who have created a delicious dairy-free protein shake with 20 grams of protein along with less than 175 calories per bottle. They have all your essential vitamins as well as prebiotic fibre, so it really is a top-class product for sports people. You can use TOS20 after going into their website asapvegan.ie. Okay, Stephen, moving on to our last segment. Okay, really great shooting there. Let's see what your speed's like now. So we're going to be working off speed gates, which were kindly sponsored by ASAP, the plant-based company. And season 1, we did the 40-yard dash. We decided to move over to the 10-meter MSS, your max sprint speed. So what we're going to do is we have you connected to the speed gates. We're going to line you up between the yellow cones, and you're going to build up to the red cones and fly to the yellow, okay?
Yeah.
So we're not measuring between here and the red, we're only measuring between the red and the far yellow.
Yeah.
So do not hit top speed till about a couple meters before the red and right through, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to give you 2 or 3 warm-up goes, just make sure the speed gates are all okay.
Yeah.
And I want you to significantly get quicker each run, and then you're going with your max.
Yeah.
All right? So I'm going to head up and get my phone, and I'll give you a shout, right?
Yeah.
All right, Stephen, this is your first warm-up, 80%, off you go. Good stuff. So your seconds between the cones is 1.3.
What am I basing on?
Well, Enda Smith is the quickest so far, 1.10.
Yeah.
John Heslin was 1.12. Okay, so you're slowly getting up to that.
Bit behind.
So take your time walking back and then a little bit quicker the next time.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, yeah. Good. So that was slightly quicker, 1.23. Okay.
Getting there.
Getting there. So you have one more warm up. Again, you're supposed to rest about a minute per 10-meter sprint, so take your time, all right?
Take with it.
The more recovered you are, the better. It's the last warm up.
Last warm up.
Let's see you break 1.2 and then take it from there. Good lad. That was a little bit slower, 1.24. Okay.
I can't get there.
So I'll time your minute rest here, and this is your max effort.
Max effort.
Was that max there? Was it?
I don't know. What do you think? I'd ask you.
I thought you looked faster, but Speed gates don't lie.
Huh?
Speed gates don't lie, okay? So take a good minute, I'll actually time you. Right, so I'll start the timer now. I'll give you a 90-second break, okay? Because this is the last one.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bill, go hard. Good lad.
Slower.
1.14. Well done, 1.14. Okay, great stuff, buddy. You
Pleasure.
prime yourself for the last one.
Don't show my strength and conditioning count stand up because he'll have you up and down all the time.
Flying, man. Good stuff. Look, a brilliant episode. Really enjoyed it. Great stuff. Great facilities. I'm really delighted I'm down here. Great setup. Viewers back home, again, please, if you can subscribe, it helps the channel grow. More and more names, more challenges. So hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to comment down below on who you would like to see next for episode 4, season 2 in the off season. Stephen, pleasure. Best of luck for the rest of the year, okay?
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.